Welcome back to the Witch's Way podcast. I'm Kat.
And I'm Jamie. And tonight we are opening up about a beautiful topic. Opening up like a nice little perfect pink present. And
Or
this
a
is
flower.
about, or a flower.
A flower.
Or something other magical.
Yes.
But we're talking about attracting love into your life. Or our life. Or the life. Everyone's life. So love isn't just about romance though. Like, the word love, it is so much bigger than just romantic relationship love that can sometimes suck.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Romance is what people think about when you say love.
It is. But it's not, it can't be the only thing.
No.
Romance can't be the only thing because before romance, you know what you need? You know what kind of love you need?
Self-love.
She's already so educated. Okay.
Self-love.
I'm not going to be teaching her anything tonight, but maybe we can get a few things across. So love isn't just about romance, but it's also about deep relationships, deep friendships, deep self-love, and creating a life that resonates with connection, because I think that's what love is. It's connection.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And gratitude.
Yes.
You don't think you can have love without gratitude.
Yeah. No.
All right. Tonight
I
we're going to
agree.
explore what all of that means, and we're going to help you prepare yourself spiritually and emotionally. Yeah, spiritually and emotionally.
Yeah.
Not physically. We're not getting into any of the physical love stuff. That's not the kind of podcast we are.
Darn.
Yet. But we want to help us prepare ourselves. You prepare yourselves for bringing in love spiritually and emotionally, and in all of its forms. Because I think when you master one kind of love, it's so much easier to get all the other kinds of love, So if you're a mother and you have a child, there's motherly love. Mm-hmm. And you have friendship love. And you have love for your parents, love for your grandparents, familial love. Familial love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard time saying that. Love for your pets. I have always said I actually love animals more than people for a lot of my life. And then I met my husband, and I don't know, him or cats, it's a tight race, man. He doesn't listen to this, or I wouldn't say that.
I'm glad he's not listening.
Tight race.
He
Love
might
cats.
have
Love animals.
He might raise an eyebrow.
He'd be pissed. Probably.
He might raise an eyebrow.
But we want to help you invite love into your life in all of its forms. So let's get started.
All right. So let's talk about laying the foundation of love, which, in my view, is gratitude, or we're just going to say laying the foundation of love with gratitude.
Absolutely.
So the power of gratitude, let's talk about that. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to abundance, because when we feel gratitude for all the things that we have, even if we don't have every single thing that we want, it makes our hearts full.
It does.
But not so full that more things can't come in. But what it does is it sends out this energy to the universe of, I'm really grateful for what I have.
And I think it's acceptance.
And
right, opening.
I trust the universe to bring the things into my life that are right for me at the right time. So
Absolutely.
Just having gratitude for the place that you are right now, even if you don't have the friends that you want, or you're on the outs with your family or a family member, or you don't have romantic love, you're single at 60 or something like that. Gratitude is so important, because I think also when you have gratitude, the way that you go out into the world changes, and the way that you interact with people changes.
You're an attractor of all the things good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you're thankful for the love already present in your life, whether that's your family or your cat or your dog or your pets, or even the home that you love, or whatever you have in your life.
Nature, gardens, the birds outside my window, the little bird feeder. When I wake up and go to the bathroom at 2:00 in the morning and I look outside and there's raccoons eating the bird food, sometimes I'm pissed, but also I'm like, that's cool. And the other night there was actually a possum. I was like, hey, big guy. He was a big possum. He was just scarfing down some leftover bird food from the birds. All of that. Yeah.
So when you see that at 2:00 in the morning, you're like, hey, big guy, what are you doing?
Yeah, that sounds like yeah.
Hey, big guy.
Hey, big guy, what are you up to?
That sounds like a pickup line.
Yes. But it's just, the nature part of it. I think that when I'm at my base with all humans, I go to nature for love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in this frame of mind or state of being, I should say, it's not really even a frame of mind. It's a state of being, this gratitude. Mm-hmm. You're setting the stage for more love to come into your house, into your life, because you're signaling through your vibrations that you are grateful and happy and appreciative
and open
and thankful and open, and your heart is big. Yeah. You know, your heart is full, even if there's, like I said, even if you're wanting a romantic love, or maybe you don't, you know, maybe you've lost friends and you need to make new girlfriends because you moved to a new town or something like that.
Or you've lived in a town for like 5 years and you forgot to meet anybody because you have your walls up, and then all of a sudden your pet sitter comes in and they're like, wait a minute, I think we vibe. And then that's your best friend.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Or you have like a whole witch group and then you start meeting witches. You're like, you're such my vibe. I love you.
Yeah, you have to turn to the internet to find friends. That's okay. We've done that. We support that. Absolutely. Find your witch friends online. It's okay. Since we're all sort of in the closet sometimes, I think that that's where love becomes very difficult. And we're going to get into that about the walls that we build, because you're trying to protect yourself from the scrutiny of others, or being hurt, or having your heart shattered, or rejection. All the things, yeah. And we don't open ourselves up, so you can't let love flow in. You know, even friendship love. And I have some friends that I am so incredibly grateful for. Yeah. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't put myself out there first. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I'm just super grateful. So when I think of letting love in, we're going to talk about like daily practices for gratitude, because like Kat said, I think bringing love in your life is really about laying this foundation of gratitude. And I've always felt this in relationships, not just romantic relationships, but when you meet people, I think about it like building a house or a structure. Like, what is that first leveling process? You know, that's where you connect and you find all the things you have in common, and you're like, this is good ground. You find common ground. Ooh, I might get really good with some fucking like analogies right now. But I always have pictured a wall being built, like whether that's an enclosure because you have a house where the love lives, like it's a place, it's a secret place for you guys, or only you two know. Like you could have a best friend and you don't talk to them for a year, and all of a sudden you get back together and it's like time never passed, right? That happens. Mm-hmm. So you have this ground level that you're building, and this is why lies and deceit and all the bad shit we worry about, that puts cracks in the foundation. Like when you think about it like a structure. Yeah. You know, we might have a lot of weird building analogies with this, I think, because we're going to talk about your walls later. I'm going to outing her. So when I think about daily gratitude practices, because that is the foundation of being able to allow love to flow into your life, all the types of love, I really think about these sentimental things that in our very modern world get taken for granted. And do you know what I miss the most? No. Written letters, handwriting.
Oh my gosh.
I miss handwriting. Like I'm such a pen and pencil hoarder fanatic with washi tape and all of the things that I love to write with them.
I just bought brand new journals and notebooks and stuff.
Handwritten letters.
I only have like 75 of them here already, but I can't stop because I love them.
Well, I want to one-up you on that, but I don't have 75. I only have like 55. So. You're winning in 2025 right now. But think about like daily practices for gratitude. What if you wrote short notes? And it could be emails and it could be text messages. Like do what you can. Obviously, energy is a big part of this. Like give what energy you can to it. And you can grow that energy bigger. But when I think about the notes to people and the messages, even spoken words to say, damn, I'm grateful for you being in my life. I've actually really started this more with my sister. It's interesting. Here's what I've found with living so close to my sister right now is that I feel like when you're really close with people, you take them for granted. You don't say all the little things. You don't constantly say them like, fuck, I love you. Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. Because you kind of feel like they know that maybe, or you feel like it's just this unspoken knowledge. Yeah. But truly, I feel like people would really benefit when they hear, girl, I fucking love you. Yeah. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I try to hug and kiss you as much as I can because you're my mom. And I have this weird thing that when we're getting off the phone, I'm like, I love you. And I make sure I say it. I have to confess, my husband and his family, they don't ever say I love you. And it bothers me a little bit. So when I started...
that makes me sad.
It's just... It's the way they were raised. They just don't do that. They don't hug. I know, right?
I feel like they're missing.
I don't know. And because they never had it, do they miss it? Like, do you know what you don't know?
Well, when I think of the dynamic of them all together, I sort of can get the sense of the kind of, I want to say it's a closed off kind of a thing.
It does feel closed off,
where maybe it's even like I'm not comfortable saying it. It feels odd to say.
That?
It feels odd to say I love you, brother, or
I love you, bro. I love you, son. I love you, kid. I love you, mom.
I love you, mom. Mm-hmm. And to hug too, especially if you don't do it, that can feel really awkward and unnatural.
I will say that with my husband's family, it is mostly men. There's very few women. And I don't know if this was a standard that was set by the first male that then started this thing, and then none of the other males after that felt
this has traditionally been.
Yeah.
I mean, the age group is that this is traditionally how men have interacted with men. Is they don't express their emotions, they don't express physicality unless it has to do with sex and women and sex.
That right there is such a turnoff. If a guy can just be sexual but not emotionally connected.
Yeah.
What are you?
So I think it's there's a generational thing, but thankfully, I've got grandsons that grew up with daughters who were raised by me, and so my grandsons will be different. I feel
they're emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, so the generations are changing, and I think that's a really good thing, because expressing your feelings for people, to let them know that you appreciate the things that they do, even though you feel like they should know, because
that's the problem. What is it in our brains that go, no, they know how I feel, I don't need to say it.
Yeah,
this is what this daily practices are.
Well, I have to say something about handwritten notes, and I just want to say how much I appreciate when I get a thoughtful note from somebody.
You got one.
I got one from a guest that I had at Christmas, and I was so surprised, and I was like, oh wow. It's such a lost art, writing thank you notes. And then another one that I got was from a witch friend of ours. I got a Christmas card in the mail from her, and I was just like, oh my God. And I'm really bad about writing notes, and it just makes me want to strive to do that when I get those. So
let's commit. I want to do that too. Actually, I would love to have this is such an off-topic thing, but I would love to write handwritten notes to our very involved witches, our community, who have, what if you did that? I would do that.
Yeah.
I would so do that. Do you know how many fucking pieces of, they're not construction paper, but it's that fancy, what do you call that paper that I buy that has all the pretty prints on it that I make artwork out of?
Oh, just called? Printed paper with different designs and stuff on it?
Yeah, I don't know. I get them from
I know it's craft paper of some sort.
It's craft paper that has beautiful designs, but I would love to write notes all the time. Mm-hmm. I would. And be just little hearts and be like, I love you. Hey.
Anyway, the way that I recall feeling about getting those, I think emphasizes the importance of a written note.
Ooh. Tell me your level of getting a text versus getting that written note. What's the level of emotion? What do you feel different?
I mean, in a text, first of all, it's usually really quick, and then it's gone, and then it's gone in the thread of the text, and you're moving on to other things. But when you get a note, you get to hold it and look at it and see somebody's writing, their handwriting, and how either fancy it is or
effort
whatever.
Of love.
Yeah,
it shows and caring,
and it really shows. I feel that just the fact that they bought a card, wrote a note, got a stamp, got an address, all the things that had to happen.
Oh yeah,
it takes effort. It puts
time.
Time, effort, care enough to do that. Which I think speaks volumes.
So this is about handwritten notes that I think that we should revive in the world, but also there's these levels. What does it feel like to just get a text? Because I think a text saying, thank you so much for a wonderful time. Thank you for having me. I appreciate those too. I'm that is so sweet. Absolutely. Triple hearts, googly eyes, everything. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed yourself.
I just think the written note.
A note is such a bigger step now because of how
we've gotten away from that.
Well, it's not as convenient. So think about that.
True.
You have to be inconvenienced to do that. You have to buy fucking stamps.
You've had to put in a lot more effort.
Who buys stamps anymore?
Yeah.
I always find it really funny when I go to Costco and they're like, would you like to buy stamps? I'm like, for what? What am I going to do with them?
Exactly.
So,
all right. So this is expressing your attitude. And, I think expressing your gratitude, so daily practices for gratitude, writing notes.
Yeah.
I think you can also write notes to yourself. And I
1,000%.
think we should remind ourselves that we can write little love notes to ourselves or thank you notes to ourselves for, you did an awesome job.
What if you wrote a note in the mirror to your loved one when they were in the shower? Well, that sounds bad or creepy, but also there's just so many ways that you could leave little messages. I remember when I first got with Tony, that sounds so weird. When I first started dating my future husband, and we would, we lived an hour and a half from each other, so we would meet up and then there would be nothing. And if he would go on a trip after we did live together, I would tuck in little notes so that as he unpacked clothes or something, he would find the note. And I don't think he knew how the fuck it felt about that, because he was like, what? He's never experienced any kind of love like that, where there were these little symbols of, hey, I love you, I appreciate you, hey, I packed you something. Just so cool. Yeah.
Well, it would be interesting to know what our audience thinks about notes and how you've experienced those in your life. And is there a difference between handwritten notes and a text message? Which I think text messages are fine.
I do think they're fine. They're modern.
But I also think that taking the time to get a card in certain situations really shows that you're putting in extra effort and care. And that's what it conveys when you receive that note. And I think when you're writing that note, I would imagine that it feels good to do that and put it into the mail or pick up that card.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So the second daily practice, which is something that I really love to do. You guys know I love candles. Love, love, love. Candle magic is one of my things. Love them. To have candle magic in a way that doesn't feel burdensome. Okay, so I do have candles all over my house and in different areas that mean different things, because I've just set up my practice that way. But to do candle magic for love, I have specific pink candles, especially in my bedroom, by both of our bedsides. And I use those pink candles to kind of create this. I light it as a ritual when I'm ready to all right, maybe it's a Friday night where we're staying in, or it's setting a mood. Candles really can't set a mood, but when you give it color intention, and then when you light it, you say something. So when I light candles, it's very hard not to talk to the candle or the light or the lighter or all the fucking whole thing. For me as a process. It's all a ritual for me when I light a candle. I can't just light a candle and do nothing, blank mind. I'm always I light this candle with intent of bringing love and peace and hope and joy and, camaraderie into this space. I light this candle to invite the pleasant attributes of conversation, the ease of which we all get along and connect in this space. And I always have a fucking thing I gotta say when I light a candle.
I love that. When I was preparing for you to come over for us to record, I lit a candle.
I know you're lighting candles more often now, and I love that.
I light a candle, but
so sets a mood.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm definitely thinking as I light it, because I am trying to create an atmosphere.
There's a purpose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So a small ritual of lighting a candle, that's basically candle magic, you guys. You have a candle, you light it with an intention. Boom, candle magic. You're doing it. You're fucking effectively practicing witchcraft. You're being a witch right now. That's all it takes. So
that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
It's not.
It's creating a small ritual of lighting a candle with an intention and a quick affirmation. I would just say use some words. I don't care if it's 1 word, 2 words. Love and light, peace and harmony, gratitude and thanks. Anything small on when you're lighting that candle to say, here's my intention by lighting this candle. That's what I'm creating this space for.
You're putting that out. You're when you say those words, you're speaking them into existence is what you're doing.
I did write 3 because I already forgot that I did that because they all come so rapidly to me. But I did write 3 affirmations for you guys as ideas. When you light a candle to bring this, we're creating this base of gratitude to bring love into your life. So we are starting with gratitude. So these are 3 gratitude affirmations that you can say while lighting a candle. Kat's got the first one.
Here's one. I am grateful for the divine energy that flows through me, aligning me with love, purpose, and peace.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really nice.
I like that one. It's longer than I do. You don't have to say that long.
Yeah.
But get the gist of it. The next one is I thank my higher self, which I do a lot. I thank my higher self for the strength and resilience. Because we're women. We're fucking resilient, man. We make it through everything. Mm-hmm. That has carried me through this life's challenges and brought me to this moment of growth. Like, I just feel like that's empowering for us to be like, I'm here, I'm now, I've survived, I've done it, and I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Having gratitude for just getting to this point.
Yes.
Something I've learned about getting older, it ain't fucking easy. It ain't easy getting older. So if you're older...
Says the 44-year-old to the 66-year-old.
Just saying. I take care of an 84-year-old.
The fun times are really coming before you in another 20 years.
I'm already there.
Another 20 years. Yeah.
I have such a gratitude for every year that we continue to do this and we continue to grow and evolve ourselves. I'm grateful for every year. Mm-hmm. That's it. So I'm really... The gratitude to my higher self to continue to guide me, which is what I think my intuition is. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Well, I think it's important that you're like through the challenges, because you're acknowledging that life's not always rosy. Everything's not always perfect. And those challenging times teach you something too. They take you to another level. They bring you to another level because you have to get through them with resilience and strength and all of that. So I really love that one.
Yeah.
Let's see, another one, or the third one that we have is, I am grateful for the divine light within me, which radiates love, compassion, and purpose in everything I do. That's beautiful.
You know, I have this new adventure on Instagram. And I've had to tell myself so many times, what is my purpose of doing this? And get out of my fucking head of like what that looks like. Because this really is a journey of love and light and spreading goodness. But then there's that other side of social media that doesn't feel loving, that I fear.
The trolls.
It has been a battle.
Yeah, I know.
But I continue on anyways.
Well, because there's a lot of nasty people.
There is. And I think about my close witches that are always there supporting me. I think about you guys when I'm doing stuff. I don't really think about like the whole world, which sometimes I can do. But I think about the love and the purpose of doing this for you guys. And that's what helps me do things I don't like doing. That's resilience. Remember why I'm doing this?
That's fortitude and perseverance is what that is. You're like, I'm going through with this, even though I fear, I have these like underlying fears.
I know there's darkness over there.
Yeah,
I just don't want to be exposed to it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to stop myself from doing beautiful things because I fear the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's like, to be able to say, the divine light within me, that fills me with purpose. I really like that. Okay, now the third thing for sort of having that underlying foundation of gratitude is transforming lack into abundance, because gratitude means that you appreciate everything you have and you're not focused on what you don't have, which is lack.
Everything that you have in this moment.
In the moment. It doesn't mean that you're not working for more. It doesn't mean that you have things that you don't want to get rid of.
It doesn't mean you don't have a vision board and a spell going.
All those things exist in my life on a multitude.
A money spell going, a money bowl somewhere, or a love spell sitting somewhere.
So many things.
All the things.
Yeah. By transforming lack into abundance, it's like you focus on what you have rather than what you lack to shift your energy. Because if you're always focused on the empty space that there's nothing there and not what you actually have, you're not being grateful, right?
Yeah, no.
So that's a good way to understand. If you're focused on your lack, that's not gratitude.
Right.
So I think this that transformation creates a magnetic pull.
Absolutely.
Law of attraction, right? A magnetic
pull. It absolutely does.
It attracts more of what you want in your life. Yeah. So we have some ways to do that. Like I wrote down 2. It's not 500.
The first one is reframing negative thoughts. And I don't know about anybody else. I'm sure no one's like this with their negative thoughts. Thinking, going off into a little spiral about whatever.
I'm ready for
you've
it.
done wrong in your past, or the things that have gone wrong in your life, or the way that you feel about at your certain age or weight or circumstance or whatever. All of these things, women have a constant stream of thoughts going through their head.
We're
about
so judgmental about
everything.
ourselves. We judge
We're
ourselves on so many
we're really
other
hard on
standards.
ourselves.
Yeah.
We're hard on ourselves, and sometimes we're hard
And
on
on
other
each
people.
other.
But we're definitely hard on ourselves. We're very critical, and that's because I think our society has taught us, like how much are women criticized? Like, oh, you gained 10 pounds, or whatever. You cut your hair and it's ugly,
or you dyed it,
or you dyed it, or you look tired today because you're not wearing makeup. They don't say you're not wearing makeup, but the underlying is you didn't put makeup on, so you
okay? You look tired.
Yeah, you look tired. I love that when I'm not wearing makeup. It's like, you look really tired. I'm like, yeah, I just don't have any eyes on or mascara.
My eyebrows are non-existent right now.
But when you catch yourself thinking and negative thoughts, and there's so many of them about what you don't have, pause to reframe that. Instead of I don't have enough time for myself, you can say I'm grateful for the moments that I do have to rest and recharge. Because the truth of the matter is there's never enough time. That's the truth. But
that's what we
that's what we can feel like when life is really hectic.
That's what the world sort of impresses on us too. Is like there's not enough time.
Well, also
get
the world,
to it, be busy, be productive,
society,
do more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
that's why winter is hard.
But instead of saying that, you can just say you're thankful for what you do, the moments that you do have to recharge, and so just restating it in a positive way instead of I don't have enough time. It's like reversing that to say I'm grateful for the time that I do have.
Yeah. You may have remembered when Cameron had to go in for his he had EEG, so they scanned his brain to try to figure out where his seizures come from. Mm-hmm. And I really thought I was okay because I was very excited about the appointment. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got with a real neurologist. We got a real appointment, all those. And yet the day of, I was sort of distraught.
You were very emotional.
I was, and I didn't expect that. I was like, I'm so excited. And I was like,
I saw it in your eyes.
Dread, or like, it weighed heavy on me. It was so weird because all the time before that, I was like, this is fucking perfect. This is so exciting. We finally got into a doctor this is a neurologist who specializes in seizures. Like, that's his thing. And he's like, we're going to get you an EEG, and we're going to do, there was a whole plan set up, and we've been waiting years for this now, like almost 3.
Yeah.
And yet the day of the test, I almost felt like something bad was going to, I had this like doom and gloom feeling that was so hard. And I came to you and you're like, she was so sweet because she just kind of like stared at me. She's like, how are you feeling? I was like, oh, I'm good. And she just stared at me like, I'll wait for it. I know that you're not okay. It's all right. And she didn't really talk or anything. And then when I started to talk about it, it was like the crack in my voice. And I had to shed some tears because I realized that what we were doing, it was emotional. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a change, it's a something. But I'm not sure if it was necessarily fear or sadness. But like right now, I feel like I'm quivering from it, just talking about it, because there's so much, it's like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, the unknown. Yeah,
the unknown
fear
of it.
Of the unknown.
The unknown
and
of
then
it.
How can you not be emotional about finally getting to this place that you've been trying to get to for 2.5 years, where somebody's actually going to, instead of just medicating and trying to stop the seizures, they're actually going to try to figure out why. I mean, how can you not get emotional about that? That seems really normal to me.
I know. Well, so I realized,
you were just kind of denying, like, no, I'm fine.
I was pushing it down.
My eyes look like this.
I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm totally fine.
I knew by the look in her eyes that
she could see it, and that really pissed me off. I was like, stop it, I'm fine. Don't do that. But like a mom who knows her kid, she just waited for the tears to roll. And then, but once I cried, I felt so much better, because then we went to the hospital.
It was a little release.
It was a great experience. Oh my gosh. And the lady that did his EEG, like, it was so cool. I didn't like that I had to leave the room. But what I realized about that is I had to say to myself in that moment, I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Like, I might be scared and afraid, but I'm so fucking grateful for this opportunity. Like, I had to keep repeating that to shift that fear.
Yeah.
From,
well,
oh my God,
what if you knew to do that. I mean, that's just a good example of when you're feeling the fear.
Yeah.
Get the little tears out and
Yeah.
then switch your mindset to
Yeah.
what are you grateful for in this situation?
in the
We're
moment.
finally here
Yeah.
after 2.5 years. We're finally seeing a neurologist who specializes in seizures. This is a good thing. This is
It is a
something to
good
be,
thing.
even though it's unknown, we don't know what we're going to find.
It's a little scary. It's unknown. Like,
Yeah, but
I don't know.
still, I'm so glad to be here. Yeah.
I had to really, really try hard to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it did take shedding some tears first. That was sort of the...
And that's okay.
That was... I think that's how we can
was
get
a
through
release.
of
That was a release of the emotions that you were feeling, that you were like, holding inside to stay strong for your son, to stay strong, just like I'm the mom, this is what,
I'm the rock. Gotta be the rock.
You're the rock, yep.
But I just love the way you said, instead of saying like, oh, I don't have time for myself, instead say like, be grateful for the time you do have. Mm-hmm. I think about that sometimes with Cameron, because I know that the kind of epilepsy he has, there's a 70% chance more of him dying in his sleep because of the seizures of when he has them. And at first that was really fearful. And instead I said, even if he passes, I got to be grateful for the life he lived. I had to start repeating that shit to myself because I couldn't let myself go down the other road. I needed this road. I needed the gratitude road rather than the fear road.
Yeah.
And that statement of that just really reminded me of, none of us get out of this alive.
No.
So what are you really trying to protect with that? What are you trying to hold on to with that fear? What are you doing? Why are you feeding that?
Right.
We get to just experience it. And it's like, I'm grateful for the experience. Cameron and I will be together on the other side. Our souls will connect. We'll get to feel each other's everythings. It's, I don't know what we'll be to each other in the next life. I don't know what we've been to each other in previous lives, but there's that connection there that we can feel. And you're like, I got to be grateful for what I have in this life. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it really gets serious, is especially when you love somebody so much, like a child, like a spouse you've had forever.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
For the time you do get, not the time that's lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his diagnosis really it was not an easy or small or gentle shift. It was like, bam, punch you in the face and the crotch at the same time, run away, go behind you, you get the back of the head, like fucking universe beating me up for a year. And now, like, that was fear beating me up instead of gratitude. So now I may have to cry, but I've got gratitude towards it, no matter what happens. He's been my kid. He's 19. He'll be 20 this year. And I'm like, I'm grateful for all 19 and a half years right now because I love him. And he's been a great kid. And we've been best friends and, like, the conversations and everything, Yeah. I'm looking at you thinking, like, if you ever lost me, fuck, that'd be terrible. It's just like, see you switching and it's crazy, right?
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
No.
But.
Okay, that was a lot and emotional and a little off topic, but you can kind of see where you can be led down that fear road of like, oh God, I don't have enough, lack,
Recognizing
right?
your negative thoughts and then reframing them. I think that's the important takeaway from our 15 minutes of going down the path of what's going on with Cameron
My
for the
personal
last
life,
2.5 years. That's been really stressful, a strain. Scary.
Unknown.
There's been a lot of emergency room trips. There's been just been a lot. Mm-hmm. It's just been a lot of everything. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
I think the next one, which really ties into this, is like celebrate your small daily wins. Whatever that is. Like, that's what you got. That's what you have. You have small daily wins. There's going to be some. Number one, you fucking woke up today. Small daily win.
Hey,
hopefully,
I didn't die in my sleep.
Hopefully,
you were able to get out of bed.
Yeah, you got out of bed. You fed yourself. Hey, daily
you had hot water when you went to take a shower.
Electricity. You were able to clean your hoo-ha. I mean, nobody wants a dirty hoo-ha. Like, just the small daily wins. This goes back to having a practice of like, look at everything small that we take for granted because we don't live in a third world country. We live here in whatever situation we're in, and we do have the wins. We do. There's wins everywhere. Mm-hmm. God damn it, another sidetrack. I'm so sorry. But when I was in Iraq, I used to refill the car all the time, and we had these like big gas bags because there wasn't like a gas station. They literally had giant plastic bags of gas sitting in the desert. That's how we refilled our cars. I know that's so bizarre. But the guy who pumped our gas, he was 40 years old. He looked like he was 80, like his life had aged him, and he was one of the happiest people I ever met over there. He talked to everybody. He was just grateful for every day. He loved his life. He'd been working the base that I lived on in did I say Afghanistan or Iraq? Shit. I meant Afghanistan. If I said Iraq, I meant Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, the base I was on was Bagram. And this guy every day pumped gas, spoke to people from all over. There's all nations there, right? Like, we're all working together. And every day he had a fucking smile. And every day he was like, how are you, my friend? Like, he was just grateful. And he was like, did you try any of this? Have you tried? And he wanted to introduce people to like the Afghani way. And he would talk about his life, and he would talk about when he first got electricity, and he would talk about like TV for the first time. And his whole family stayed awake for 24 hours watching everything they could.
Oh my gosh.
And just these little simple things that for us, we 1000% take for granted.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. Whereas like people in other countries.
We're kind of spoiled.
That's why I say, like, we're in this first world country. Is that what we call ourselves? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have these political things, so please don't judge me on it. But I've been to other countries that don't have. Yeah. And that has created a lot of gratitude and appreciation in my life, and the way that, we can go in and help other people, like doing humanitarian work.
Well, and I think that man sets a really wonderful example, because for as hard of a life as he has had, and all the deprivation that he's experienced, and he's aged his body because of how difficult his survival has been, he still goes out into the world every day with joy and spreading joy and happiness.
Oh my gosh.
And that then, that's not just an outward expression. That also
lived in him.
Yes.
I loved that. So these small daily wins, it's like at the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on at least 3 things. Maybe 1. Start with 1. If you're having a hard time, start with 1 thing. But 3 things, and you can do it. The way that I think of 3, you guys, I always go maiden, mother, crone. I just can't help myself. So what is my grateful maiden moments? Like the other day when we were in the EEG, the lady, she sat me down and she's like, so what's your relationship to Cameron? I'm like, I'm his mother. And she goes, oh my God, you don't look old enough. I'm sorry. I'm like, did you think we were dating? I didn't know how to accept that information. I was like, I'm 44 years old, ma'am. But so that was like a maiden moment almost. Like I was still seen in this youthful, playful way because her and I had a lot of bantering. And then as a mother, I'm there supporting somebody. So I have the gratefulness of being a mother. And then the crone, I have the wise, like the years that I've spent gathering my knowledge and knowing myself, I'm able to reflect and go, I understand how I feel. Now I know what's going on with me. I don't always know every moment, but I can reflect on it and say, damn, I know how I feel. I know what I've gone through. I need rest or recovery, or I need rejuvenation. I need to get out in nature. I think of those 3 things. So when you reflect at the end of each day, think about 3 things that went well or just brought you joy, anything. And I'll tell you what, if you can't find 3 things, tomorrow when you wake up, I want you to go out and I want you to be overly fucking nice to people. I want you to compliment them. I want you to say hi to them. I want you to fake it till you make it.
Smile.
I'm telling you what, that will change your interactions with people 1,000%.
It did for me, for sure.
I just think of things like a delicious meal. I'm thankful for that. Like I love date night with my husband on Fridays. I used to kind of loathe it because I'm not a going out to eat person, obviously. Vegetarian food stuff, just, I don't trust people. But now I'm like, date night, it's so fun. Like, I love him being happy. I can appreciate all of that. A kind word from a friend. Man, when I get to spend time with my witch friends or my mom and my sister or just like being in nature, I love it. I feel so connected. And then when I complete small tasks, I'll tell you what, if I can wash, dry, fold, and put away laundry in the same day, that's a fucking win for me. I don't know about anybody else, but that is 4 separate tasks that I could just put off. Like I've forgotten my clothes in the washer at least for 48 hours. I'll dry them. Again. And you know what? I don't know they're in the dryer until I got to wash and dry something else again. I'll be like, oh fuck, there's that load from last week. Sometimes my nephew will put them on the couch to remind me I have stuff in the dryer and I need to fold it and put it away. So it's like, just these little wins, just little wins. By acknowledging these moments, you really shift your attention from like, you shift your attention to the blessings, not from anything. Like, let's forget about where we're at, but you shift your attentions to the blessings. Damn, I put away all my laundry today. Yeah. I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah.
I cleaned up the kitchen before I went to bed. I pre-made the coffee.
That is not a small thing.
I know. Pre-making coffee is one of my, like, I love myself so much in the morning when myself the night before made coffee and I wake up at 6:30 and it's already ready.
I love when I did all the dishes the night before and there's not a dirty pan waiting for me when I get up in the morning. Because sometimes I'll do everything except that last pan that needs to soak because I don't want to stand there and scrub it after everything's done. And then if I go out in the sink in the morning, I was like, ew.
Just waiting there.
It's just waiting there for me.
I know. A clean house before I go to bed is my ultimate goal. It doesn't happen every day very often, but I will say that my one goal is like if I can pre-make that coffee where it starts automatically in the morning at 6 a.m.
I love that.
I'm really happy with myself. Yeah.
You know what? Gratitude lays the groundwork, but how do you ensure you're emotionally ready to receive love that you're calling in? Here's where our next topic comes in.
It's healing the heart to open yourself to love. And this is about releasing your past hurts. It's fucked up. It's bad. It's not easy. We all go through it in different ways, but old wounds can really block your ability to fully give and receive love. Anybody raise your hand if you've been through that? Yep. No, all the way. Done it. I only did my first cord cutting ritual as a fucking example last year, but damn, it intrigued me. I think I did a YouTube video on it, and
you did.
I actually I probably used to diss on it a lot. I was like, okay, no, that's not how I do it.
Cord cutting.
What did I say?
No,
I did.
Did you used to diss on cord cutting?
I did a little bit. It just, I've been in the witchcraft world a long time, and I learned it before social media. So when I see things that start trending, I'm like, oh God, it's a fad now. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it feels
it feels forced or insincere or kind of like, oh, Hollywood.
Everybody's doing it. Yeah, I'm copying the movie, The Craft.
Yeah, it's light as a board,
trend. I said light as a board, stiff as a wood. What is it? Stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board. That's what it was on The Craft. So I do not like following things that a lot of people have done. It just doesn't feel authentic to me.
Yeah, that's more it.
That's it.
Authenticity.
Yeah. So I think that, performing a cord cutting ritual, don't watch a bunch of videos on it first. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust your instinct on it. Okay. Just go with what you think. And I promise you, your first time doing it, it's going to be a learning lesson, and that's okay. And guess what? Nobody tells us this, but you can do the same fucking ritual 5 times. Not against the law. Nobody's knocking on your door and revoking your witch pass. Not a thing. Do it 5 times. Do it until it feels really meaningful. Do it until you feel like you got the result that you wanted. But I think that cord cutting ritual, I really saw how powerful it could be and how intrigued I was at the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a release of emotional ties that no longer serve you, and you can use a lot of people use red and white or black and red, or they use colors that are associated to whatever they think they need. I would do colors associated with what's my favorite color and what's that old motherfucker's favorite color. And that's how I would burn it down. And that's just what I would choose for myself. But you choose the colors of candles that you want for yourself. And again, experiment. Witchcraft is literally a practice. You don't have to get it right the first time. But I actually enjoyed that cord cutting ritual. I really did. With the candles. I did.
Well, when you said pick a color of the person that you're trying to cut that cord with or cut those emotions
I feel like we all associate people with a color.
I have a color for my ex. It's orange.
What?
Yeah.
That's the creative center.
It's
Why is orange?
Well,
I didn't know that.
He looked really good in orange. Orange is not a color that a lot of people can wear, but he looked really good in orange.
That's
when
so
he
interesting.
Put orange, I was
like,
that is a good color on you. I can't wear orange.
My husband's is teal. He looks amazing in teal.
Another thing you can do to open yourself up to healing is to embrace self-compassion. And this is be kind to yourself.
What does it mean to be kind to yourself? How do you define that? Each person would probably have their own thing.
Well,
I think you being kind to yourself?
There's a few ways that I'm kind to myself. If I make sure that I get my exercise so that I'm moving my body, if I'm eating right, if I'm getting the sleep that I need, if I'm keeping my thoughts if I'm not dwelling in the past on things and thinking about stuff that I can't change, it's already gone. If I'm doing all of those things, those are all, acts of kindness towards myself, because I don't need to think about stuff that's already, it's over, right? Mm-hmm. You can't change what's already happened.
Yeah.
And I think especially when we're fresh out of a relationship, I know I have a tendency to ruminate about all the things that went on and, keep going over and over.
Regrets.
And, you have regrets, and there's the letting go, and all that is a process. But, yeah.
Mine would be, my self-kindness is to not beat myself up when I didn't do as good as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I set a really high bar for myself, and
I do too.
That's really hard on me, because if I don't achieve it, or if I let myself down, I beat myself up. I'm like,
yeah, I do that too.
It's just,
if I make a mistake, especially at my work, like if I make a mistake at my work, then I really have a tendency to spiral for a little while.
Yeah.
About, like overthinking the mistake until I have to realize that it was one thing, and whatever I did, it's like, if that's all that happened that's the worst thing that happened today. It was a pretty good day.
Yeah.
Even though I did, whatever. Like, I think of something.
Had a typo in an email.
No, not a typo in an email.
No, I struck her chord. See.
No,
I know.
Please not that.
I know.
It's so embarrassing. But
see, you really take that on as a failure.
I do. I take it as,
and it's so not life or death.
It's not.
It's so not life or death to make such a simple mistake.
But the thing is, I think especially in our work lives, we feel like it's a reflection on our either professionalism or our
mental acuity,
our abilities.
Are you stupid?
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
Think about all the names?
Yeah. So being kind to yourself and not beating yourself up for your little missteps that you make.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't always handle things in my personal relationships. Like, my grandson lives with me, and I really have to. We're the same sign. We're both Scorpios. So you got two Scorpios living in the same house.
Oh my God.
And and sometimes initially I don't always handle a situation the best way that I could, like in the mature crone way. I'm more reactive in my Scorpio way, and so then I have to come back. I've gotten much better about immediately coming back and say, I'm sorry, I overreacted. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that, or whatever it is. And that's really helped me a lot to move past that. And then also to reflecting on it, to think about, how to handle it better in the future. But being kind to yourself. So you can spend time affirming your worthiness. Like, just because I make a typo in an email, or I forget that I didn't make I took the presenters.
Oh shit! I didn't miss something.
Okay, so I was running a webinar, and I didn't realize that I made the presenter. I gave the controls to the presenter or something. I did something, because they're very close together in GoToWebinar. And what I ended up doing was, the presenter that was on screen at the time, they couldn't see their presentation. And I didn't know what I had done, because it was like I hadn't done this in like 2 years, right? So I'm like, oh, this is pretty easy. And so for like a couple of minutes, until somebody else said something, I was like, what is going on? And then I looked. So for like 2 minutes, I had a presenter that couldn't see their presentation, and they were just talking through it. I felt so bad. But I learned from it.
You did.
I learned from it, and nobody died that day.
Yeah.
And I didn't get fired that day.
I think that...
So when you make little mistakes like that, it's like, what do you take away from it? It's an experience for you to learn, so that you don't make the mistake the next time.
Sure. Learning experiences, that's what we're here for. This is Earth, the learning classroom.
Yep. So something that you can do for yourself, the mirror work, where you stand in front of a mirror, look into your eyes, smile and say,
look into your own eyes.
Look into your own eyes. Look at yourself in the mirror, like dead in your eyes, and say, I'm worthy of love. And
have you done that?
I have. I don't do it. I have done it. I also like to write affirmations and stick them on my mirror and then repeat them to myself.
Yeah.
I find that's really useful for me because when I go to sit on the toilet and then I'm looking, I was like, oh, there's that. Oh, and then I repeat it if I can see it.
I love the way you squinted when you did it. Like, oh, what is that?
Because the mirror is like, I can't remember what that says.
I did mirror work, 6-7 years ago now. The time is so weird for me right now, but 6-7 years ago, yeah. And it was because I had read a book and it talked about, like, I really wanted to love myself again. I had gone up and down in my weight. I had this weird fluffy midsection. I was like, what is about to be 40? Like, what is happening to my weight gain? It used to just go to the good parts, like boobs and butt. It used to get big. Stomach never did. And then all of a sudden, like, 36 came around. It was like, no, now you're just going to get big in your stomach. You're just going to get this little pot belly and people are going to ask you if you're pregnant or something. And it really shook me. I was like, what the fuck is this life? I don't know. I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I started all my healthy routines and stuff. But what was actually, my body wasn't as unhealthy as my mind had become.
Yeah.
And so I forced myself, after my husband left for work, we have a long, full-length mirror. I would literally be butt naked, all my bits hanging out, and I would stand in front of that mirror, unwillingly, awkward. I would move, I would twitch. It was like I was convulsing inside to stare at myself naked, and then I would focus just on my eyes and say, I love you. I love you. Like, look what you've done. Look what you've been through.
Yeah.
This is life. This is okay. This is organic material. And I told myself, number one, it can change. It's not forever. And even if it is forever, it does not take away your value in this world.
Yeah.
Because my value for me exists in my brain or in my mind or in my soul or in my spirit. It's not my body. And that was fucking hard. I cried like the first 5 times and I didn't like it. I was like, fuck this. I'm giving up. I'm not doing this. This is stupid. This is a stupid, stupid ritual. But then I found value in it. You know what I had to do is the full length mirror was too much at first. I went to my short mirror, which only really showed from like maybe my navel up, and I did it there. But like, I'm going to traumatize you guys really quick because we have this really funny thing we say in our family called orangutan titties. Like, it's just when your boobs are not in a bra and they're hanging low and you just don't feel happy about them. My sister fucking taught me that word and I can't forget it now.
Worse is when your nipples point south.
Yeah, it's orangutan titties. That's what my sister, I love her. Oh my God, she's hilarious. And so I stood there looking at myself, but you know what was really messed up is you start to realize that you're looking at yourself, but in your mind, you know what you think you should be looking at is some Victoria's Secret model or some, what was big back in that day? Like maybe American Eagle or Aeropostale or I don't know, brands I might have bought back then of model bodies.
Yeah.
I have never been that way. Why would I compare myself? When they say model,
what they mean is like, this is what you're supposed to aspire to.
No. So I did have to start at a half-length mirror, but that actually went pretty quickly. And then I moved to the full-length mirror. And then I was like, yeah, all right. And you know what I started saying? Like, look at the stomach that literally had a baby in it. Until I
grew a whole human.
Like a whole human grew right there. I was like, oh my God. When I started thinking about the miracles of my body, I was like,
yes,
dude, you look amazing for going through all that shit.
And when you think about what your body has taken you
endured
through. Well, you know what it's done for you. I mean, you went to look where you've been in the world, and you've got a kid that you love and that's smart and funny. That's the
gratitude for all the little things, right? My legs still work, my knees still work. I can still bend over. I can still go to the bathroom regularly. There's all these things. When you start taking care of older people and you realize the problems that happen when you get to 80, you're like, I don't have a colonoscopy bag. How do you say that? That thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a cancer growing somewhere. I can breathe regularly. You have all this gratitude for the little things that we take for granted.
I still have my hair.
I have my hair. There's not a lot of it, but I have it. My mom got all the good hair. She's platinum blonde with this, like, what did I call you the other day? What did I say your hair looked like? I forget now. Anyways, she's like a 70s glam star, hair, everything. She's just so Baywatch up in the face and all the shiny, beautiful California places. And sometimes I feel like a Midwestern farm wife that should be taking care of chickens. And like, I don't have, not that that's not a compliment. I love that life, but there's like people you expect to see in Hollywood and then people you expect to see on a farm. I'm a farm girl. I think so. Yeah. I've got the dark, mousy hair. You know, I just like, aesthetically, I fit in that life better. But when you have like a beautiful mother, you're like comparing yourself to her and you're going, shit, I must look like my dad. I don't know what happened. So you have to start loving yourself and just who you are and what you have. And that was my mirror work. That was a long fucking story for a short thing. That was a long story
about your mirror work. Okay.
Mirror work. Yeah. I think we're going to then start building trust with ourselves. So when you build trust with yourself, you're more likely to trust others. Hence, the walls, when we first started this, talking about the foundation, this is the wall building. This is the bricks that you lay. This is the foundation you built around yourself, around others, around your relationship. I hear a lot of witches say that they literally don't trust their intuition, and this because they don't trust themselves, right? Yeah. Like they just don't trust themselves because they think their own intuition led them astray in the past. And because past mistakes were like, oh, something we've said in our family is we have bad pickers. We pick bad men. We go after like the wrong guy. That's fucked up. When you repeat things like that, this is going way back to like, get rid of those negative thoughts. Think about what you really have going as far as self-compassion. You've made a mistake. That's okay. And then building trust with yourself because you're going to make mistakes. That's what this place is for. But that doesn't mean that you can't trust yourself. It just takes time. Go little by little to figure out what you like. Step forward. What works? Step forward. It's little steps, I think.
Take small steps to keep promises to yourself, like committing to self-care routines or honoring your boundaries.
You guys know we love boundary work. We've done a lot on this show. Please go back and listen to other podcasts that have boundary work in it. We're not going to get into it in this one, but that's 500 podcasts right there, boundary work. Yeah.
I realized, I think in one of our more recent boundary podcasts that I had walls in my past relationships. I had walls, but no boundaries.
You did say that.
And that was like, that was like an epiphany. It really, really was. It really, really was an epiphany to have that. And it was I recognized it immediately because every relationship that I would go into, I'd be very guarded with my heart. But pretty much you could walk all over me.
Permissive in all the other ways. Yeah.
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 I don't want to say I was a doormat because I wasn't, but I was very, I just let people cross lines that I didn't even know were there or that I hadn't enforced or that I hadn't decided was a line for me.
Right,
right. I mean, there's certain lines like cheating was like, that's a line. To me, that's a given. But other things like, how about not having a job? How about going out and staying all night and going to the casino? Shit like that, that just really ate away and chipped away at my last relationship because I didn't stand my ground and say, I'm not going to tolerate this. I just kept tolerating it. So
what was the Dr. Laura, right?
Dr. Laura. Laura Schlesinger, Dr. Laura from like the 90s, I guess. She was big in the 90s.
We grew up with that. Me and my sister grew up with my mom listening to Dr. Laura.
They hated Dr. Laura.
Okay, that sounds harsh now.
They did, though.
What I didn't like is that my mom was always preaching at me when I was too young for any kind of relationship, and yet I felt like it wasn't a true reflection of the world. Dr. Laura was full of shit because I didn't see that in my own life. I see it now, though. But one of the best things I ever got from the Dr. Laura conversations is that she talked about the 3 A's in every fucking relationship since I was 15 years old. 14 probably, right? Because like I had a 14-year-old boyfriend. The only thing I ever did was kiss him. But my boundaries, there were 3 boundaries that were able to be set because of Dr. Laura. I do not tolerate addictions. I do not tolerate adultery. I do not tolerate abuse. It did not matter. There was no excuses. I had 3 firm boundaries. And I got to tell you, if you were to go interview every man I ever dated, messed with, anything, he fucking heard those rules.
Did he?
Absolutely.
Good for you.
Every time.
Well, I didn't follow her rules, but I'm glad that I said it enough to my daughters that they did, or at least you did.
Abuse, adultery, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the adultery one I got, but the abuse and...
When you said that, it reminded me of that. Yeah.
I don't know about abuse.
So we just talked about
mental abuse, but anyway,
there's so many kinds of abuse.
Different
right?
story, different podcast.
So we were just talking about like healing your heart to make yourself open for love, right? So now if we've transitioned, because we kind of got to go through these points, is like, oh, now we're to the next stage. Now that your heart is really open for love, let's focus on like the practical and spiritual ways to actually invite that love in. So you got to do like sort of the shadow work. If we go back to what we were talking about first, practices for gratitude, understanding you're grateful for what you have. Then we're going to heal the heart to open yourself up for love. Now you actually have to invite love into your life.
Well, the first thing before you are going to invite love into your life is like you need to really know what you want. So clarifying your desire.
Absolutely.
Make a list of what you're looking for in love, whether it's qualities in a partner, a friend, or a strong connection with yourself. Place the list on your altar to set intentions. I've tried. I know you said you've made lists.
Every time.
You've made lists.
Ridiculous, unfathomable lists of qualities.
My problem that I've had with lists when I think about making them is I can only think of the things that I don't want. So I really have to work. I really have to work toward the things that I do want. Because I am
opening yourself up.
I am opening myself up for love and putting myself, and starting to like explore things and following dating.
Yeah.
People that I like that talk about dating and talk about dating when you're older and talk about dating in today's world where everything is online and that's what we have to deal with. That's the reality of our society today is everything is online. So I follow these people so that I can learn so that the next time I step into this space or I meet somebody, I feel more ready to allow myself to be open to it, and also not only to be open to it, but also to have the boundaries firm in my mind that can't be crossed, that are things I won't accept, and be willing to walk away from them. Because in past relationships, I fell a lot for somebody's potential, and not really who they were, and hope that I could like fix them.
Fixers, yep.
So some of the things you can do about clarifying your design, if you're not making a list, is to like involve yourself in things that support that. Like I follow Jenny Young, Burned Haystack Dating Method. She's on Instagram and Facebook. Jenny Young is her name again. She's a professor of rhetorical what do you call it? Rhetorical studies.
I don't follow her yet.
So joining groups, the thing that I'm on Threads, and the things that I follow on Threads are like dating advice and dating when you're older and stuff like that. So you can do those things. You can do those things too to prepare yourself, and to get clear on what you really want, and or if you don't know what you really want, know what you don't want.
Yeah, I was always okay with, I don't always know what I want, but I definitely know what I don't want.
I definitely know what I don't want.
Yeah, I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that's a great thing. I think that as you seek out people who help you learn, you're really solidifying like the support that goes with your journey, because there's so much information online. Man, I tried, was it eHarmony? eHarmony. Way back in like 2009.
Yeah, I remember eHarmony. I tried that.
Yeah. And
you had to answer like a million questions.
And
it was really weird.
I did 2 hours of answering questions. I did all the thing. I was very serious. And because I had gotten out of a relationship with my son's father, and I was like, I don't want to just have like a fling. I want to know how to trust people. And I felt like, we talked about this a few steps ago, but like I didn't feel like I knew how to trust people. I was like, I don't know. I didn't make a good decision this last time. How am I going to make another one? And I did that for a year. And do you know what I found, which was really disheartening? Everybody lied on their profile. And they went through the 2 hours and paid for everything, and they still lied on it.
Yeah.
They uploaded false photos. And what the most response that I got from that was every time I'd meet somebody at a Starbucks, because it was always coffee. I never did a late night thing. You know what they'd always say to me? Wow, you look exactly like your photos. And I was thinking, you fucking don't. You uploaded photos from 10 years ago. Like, what is that? Why be dishonest? What are we doing here? And so I made no connections whatsoever.
I so remember doing that.
Pissed me off.
I remember doing that, especially this one guy. He was so cute. His picture was so cute. And then I met him, and he was like 400 pounds. And I was like, that is not even... You totally misrepresented yourself. And then he was mad when I didn't want to, then he was mad at me when it didn't work out.
I got lucky that nobody was mad, but you know what they were? They were like, would you go out with me again? I was like, no, you're not what I'm looking for. You're not employed. You're not your pictures. You're not anything you represented. Your first impression is that you already lied.
Yeah.
That, to me, is a form of abuse. Lying to me is a form of, that's mental abuse. Don't fucking lie to me. So, anyways, now we're going to go through manifesting through rituals, because I really feel like this is helping you invite love into your space. Manifesting is spells, just remember that. But when we manifest through rituals, we're performing like a love drawing spell. You're like, ooh, cast that net and bring things in, or a love attracting spell. You can name it whatever you want. And there's thousands of online resources. I totally
did a spell for love. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later,
like a charm.
2 weeks later, I met somebody. So actually, this is way back early in my witchcraft days, and Jamie was teaching
4
me.
Years ago,
Jamie was teaching me how to create my own spells.
Yes, I was.
And so the spell I was going to do was a spell for attracting love or finding love.
Yep.
And so I remember you saying, go collect things around the house that when you think of them, you think of love, or they make you think of like a relationship and stuff.
Intimacy,
romantic, yep.
All the
so
things.
I went around collecting. I remember one of the things I did is I had a pair of black lace panties with a little bow. You know how they come with little bows on them? And I cut the bow off of that, and that was part of my spell. And 2 weeks later, we were out. We went to this festival or something.
No, we were down at Minnesota Beach at that.
But we went. It was a festival though. No. There was live music and stuff.
Yeah, but it was that beach bar down at Minnesota Beach.
We went to the festival, then we went to the bar.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so we go to this.
Yeah, like an art.
We go to this festival, and then after the festival, we go to this bar to just listen to some music. Bar. And I'm standing there listening to the band, and some guy comes up behind me and is like, I have my hair in 2 little pigtails back here. And
she was looking so fucking cute.
And he's like, you should wear your hair like that all the time. You look really good, or something like that. And that was the start of it. That was Dallas. We're just going to call him Dallas. And that he was so absolutely 100% in love with her that night. He was so into me.
Yeah.
And I spent the weekend talking to him. He was here visiting. His dad was sick. His dad was dying or something. And actually his dad did die over the course of the weekend. But what happened with him was he wanted to move really fast. He wanted me to go to Dallas the next weekend. And I was just as soon as he said that, I realized I wasn't quite ready. Yeah. So I was able to bring it in, but then also to realize that I wasn't there yet. Once I got it, that I just wasn't.
I know.
He wanted to move too fast. I wasn't comfortable with it. Boundaries. Hey.
She had it.
So
has it. You have it. You have shown you have it.
So that's so drawing love to you. Yeah. You can do a spell for romantic love. And
so what that spell really involved, you guys, was collecting things from our house that she had already. We bought nothing new. Lighting a candle, saying words, having an affirmation, thinking it through, writing a couple things down, and then that was the spell. It was not big production.
No.
And it worked. My spell, I'm going to tell you about my spell really quick. Way back when, 500 years ago when I was young, I was dating somebody who then got out of the military, and my hopes was that I would get out of the military and be with him. And then after he left, in our command, bad things started happening, and I just couldn't fucking wait to get out. I was like, oh my God. So I started doing affirmation writing, which I was basically we're going to call him Chicago. She's got Dallas, I've got Chicago. And I just started writing be at home with Chicago, be at home with Chicago, go home to Chicago, go home. And I wrote this on so many pages of a journal. And that was all I did. That was my spell. It was putting energy into the words to be there with him, go home with him, home, there, him, everything. That was all I felt. I had no other stipulations. I didn't know how anything would happen. I didn't set any rules for it, nothing. I did that for probably a month, and then I got distracted and I moved on with my life because I was that. I wasn't going to say it's not working, but so many other things started happening that I couldn't keep committing to that spell, if you will. Fast forward a year and a half later, he literally finds me somehow. I'm out of the Navy. I'm in a totally new city. I have a brand new baby. Like, there's all kinds. My life has totally changed. I haven't even thought about him. He fucking calls me out of the blue. I'm like, I don't even know how he found me. And he said, come to me in Chicago. Like, come live with me. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of your son. I know he's not mine. That's okay. I don't mind. Da, 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 da. Like, he just provided me with this out when I was going through a really hard time with my son's father. There was just the spell was like, and now we're here. We're ready. It's happening. I was like, fuck. I needed this like a year and a half ago. What do you mean? This is not how I wanted it to go. So the spell worked. It just took a long time to get there. And then I had a choice. Do I want that thing? Do I go that direction? Or do I try more with my son's father? And of course, I chose my son's father because that as a mother, that was what I thought was the right thing to do, not run off to Chicago with a guy and have my kid's like 3 months old and now has a stepdad already. What the fuck? I don't know. The whole thing for me was just really bizarre. And I was like, come on, witchcraft. Like, why you gotta be late with me? What the fuck?
I think the universe was like, I think that was intentional. The universe finally delivered it for you to realize that wasn't really what you wanted.
That's not what I wanted. And
you thought you wanted that.
I did think I wanted that.
And then when you finally got it, you're like, yeah, no.
I didn't want that. Yeah. It was this crazy realization. So if you had gotten it
like 2 months in after doing the spell, who knows what?
I don't know that I would have wanted it because I didn't truly want to live in Chicago.
Yeah.
And
you wanted to keep working out things with Cameron's dad, though. That was, I think that was the big thing.
And the spell was obviously before I ever met Cameron's dad. It was literally like, I was probably writing this in like...
Oh, I thought that
March
you said
through
you had
May.
Cameron. Oh.
The spell was March through May the year before.
Oh,
I met Cameron's dad that next year in August.
Oh, I see.
I got pregnant with Cameron in February.
Oh.
Like, so there was this whole thing.
Yeah.
It was insane.
So life went on.
But
your spell was still out there doing its work.
You don't... This is where
once you put it out into the universe,
spells,
that's it.
I'll tell you what, if you're fucking determined, man, it might take a minute, but it's showing up one way or another, and you'll be you're a little late, and now my priorities have changed.
Yep. Well, that's just the universe testing.
That's exactly what happened with you. Is like you thought you were ready for love, and then all of a sudden it delivered really fast, and you were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. And that was a long time ago. I don't even remember how many years ago it was now.
It was when you first got here, like 4 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
Which seems crazy.
Yeah.
Because it kind of feels like last year.
Right.
But 4 years ago. Yeah.
So let's talk about staying open to unexpected love, which was kind of like, I guess I didn't expect it when I did the spell. I was hoping for it. But the key thing for me was to get out of my house and start doing things. So like we went to this festival, then we went out to a bar for music, not for the bar scene, but for the music that was there.
Yeah.
And for the just chill vibe of this place that was down by the water and stuff.
Really nice. And it's a fun place.
Yeah, it's a fun place.
Yeah.
But being open and just being in that, being in an environment where you have the opportunity to meet people.
I think it's opportunity. Yeah. You gotta do the work. You do the spell, you do the work.
Yeah. Smiling at people, talking to people, saying yes to opportunities. I just answered this. I mentioned earlier, burned haystack dating method, Jenny Young. Write that down. Especially if you're somebody who's thinking about getting back into the dating world in 2025.
Or if you need help in your own relationship, because I still feel like the stuff she teaches could actually bring light to things in your current relationship.
It could, it's not bad. Yeah, it could.
She's very informative.
But there was a post about, so there's always this thing when you're on dating apps. It's like, oh, we have a plan to meet, but then I don't hear from you for 3 days, and we're meeting on Friday night. So let's say make a plan on Tuesday. We're going to meet Friday night. And then the expectation in this post was like, I expected a confirmation, even though we made a plan, 7:30 at such and such a place, but I didn't get a confirmation. So that was the discussion about, should I go? I didn't get a confirmation, even though we made these plans like 4 days ago, but it would have been nice to get a conversation. So the question was, would you go or would you not go? Do I go or do I not go? My response to that was, I would go. And here's the reason why. Because you never know what the universe is going to put in front of you when you put yourself out and go out there. into the world.
Yeah.
So I would go and enjoy myself, and if he showed up, fine, and if he didn't, I would have sat at the bar and had appetizers and had a drink and talked to people.
Determined to have a good time.
Yeah, and
make a good time out of it.
And trusting that, you know, I mean, I put myself in this place, and who knows what the universe would bring to you if you do that. So I just think that's like, that was the thing with Texas. You know, I started going out. I mean, it was something I hadn't been doing. I looked cute. I went out. Yes. I was having fun. I was just doing my thing. I wasn't trying to hit on anybody. I wasn't even thinking about that, actually.
You were just being yourself.
I was just being myself and having fun, but being around people, because no one's coming knocking at your door.
I will say that when I was in South Carolina and trying to make friends, because I got out of the Navy, moved there, didn't know anybody, felt really out of place, decided to go out with a work friend, went out. I don't know what he fucking thought it was, but we were sitting at the bar just having casual conversation. And remember, I was in the military. I've been friends with guys. It's platonic. It doesn't mean it. Like, I don't know what he thought. This was my first time sort of interacting with civilian guys like this. This motherfucker literally looked at me and was like, I was talking and you interrupted me. And I'm like, thought we were bantering, you know? And then he just literally got up and left me there sitting at the bar. This is a small town in South Carolina. It's not like there's a million people there. What was really cute is that these two much older guys, like grandpa type guys, I was probably 28 when I was there. They were staring at me, and I was sitting alone now and kind of embarrassed that the person that I had went there with got up and left, and I felt like I looked like an asshole. And then the guys next to me, we're both staring at each other kind of in this awkward moment. They go, "What the fuck did you say?" And I was like, I don't even know what happened. And then the three of us, because they were actually there, they lived somewhere else and they rented like a little deer hut, and they would tell their wives they're going to deer hunt, but really all they would do is come down and be boys in the woods and just like fuck off. They didn't even care about shooting deer. They just wanted to be like, that was their little trip. And we got to talk, and it was so great. I ended up having such a good time with those two older gentlemen than I ever could have with that coworker friend that just, I don't know. Like, he had said something weird to me that I was like, that's odd. Because he's like, I bet you think I'm the kind of guy that would sleep with you and never call you again. I'd call you. And I'm like, that's not where this is going at all. I don't know. What? Is that bantering or flirting? I don't know what you're doing. So it was already this thing. And by staying after that awkward fucking moment, I had the best time ever. Mm-hmm. And I learned something that day. I was like, yeah, fuck them.
So there you go. Say yes to opportunities.
Say yes to opportunities. I love it.
And trust that the universe will guide you and put people in your path.
Goddess has my back. I truly believe it.
As you follow these steps, remember that love is always around you and within you. Yes. Let's wrap up with a reminder of what it means to be open to love.
Yeah. We just really want to thank you for joining us on this journey of attracting love into your life. But I want you to remember that love is like many, many things, okay? Love is a quiet walk in nature. It's a heartfelt conversation with a friend, or it's the warmth of your own genuine, compassionate company. You can be in love just being by yourself or with your pup or cat or whoever. But building a foundation of gratitude and healing your heart, it invites love with open arms. So think about those things when you're hoping to pull this in. What is your baseline? Where are you at? What are you growing? What kind of gratitude do you have? Are you open for it? What's your energy you're putting out into the world that you're going to end up receiving back?
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who could use a little extra love in their life. Until next time, keep shining your light and stay magical, witches.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.